What's up, vinyl community? Nick Rudo here, back with another video, and wanted to do a quick video talking about some of the records that I've been getting into the collection over the past week. Some serious grails coming in the jazz genre, some really great Blue Note albums to show you this week, so let's just get into it. Major grail here for me. This is Lee Morgan's The Sidewinder, an absolute classic from 1964. Lee Morgan, one of the greatest trumpet players of all time, in my opinion, one of the greatest of the Blue Note label. And this album, I think, is just a seminal classic in the jazz genre. Certainly a gateway to jazz for a lot of people. Blue Note just put out a really great reissue of this album, part of their Blue Note Classic series, done by Kevin Gray. Just really nice presentation on that. But I've always been trying to find an original first press of this album. So super excited to find this. This is an original first pressing from 1964 in stereo. An absolute beauty. Got this from Crazy Rhythms Records here in San Antonio. Just one of the greatest record stores in the entire country, and they're constantly putting out so many amazing things in the racks, and they put this out this weekend, and I was so stoked to find it. You know, I've always been trying to find original Blue Note albums, and it's very hard to find those in San Antonio. You don't come across these very often, so had to snatch this up and super stoked about it. So Lee Morgan's The Sidewinder, one of the greatest jazz records of all time and a major grail for me. This is why I dig for vinyl. This is why I go record shopping pretty much every week. I'm searching for these kind of records, these rare, hard to find, original Blue Note pressings. Major grail for me, so super stoked about that. Another grail, another Blue Note album I was super stoked to find, courtesy of Patrick, the vinyl archivist. This is Wayne Shorter's Adam's Apple. And this is not an original press, but Patrick, the vinyl archivist, great channel here in the vinyl community. He was selling this as part of the vinyl community auction that happened a couple of weeks ago. Really great auction done by Fred Putterman, as well as the Waxed, and they did this really great vinyl auction, auctioning off a bunch of really great albums and various pressings, and Patrick had this. It's an early 70s Liberty pressing of this absolute classic from Wayne Shorter. Killing it on this record. You know, I love pretty much all of the Wayne Shorter Blue Note albums, are just perfection to me. And I think some of the greatest albums that Blue Note put out are those Wayne Shorter records. So you got Herbie Hancock on piano on this. You got Joe Chambers on drums. Reginald Workman on bass. An absolute killer lineup on this, and sounds beautiful. So super stoked to have this. I am really amping up my jazz collection with these two Blue Note pressings this week, but I was just so happy to find that. So moving away from jazz here, those are the two great jazz grails that I found this week. I found a few other things. I picked up this album by Mannequin Pussy. They're a really fun garage rock band. They have a kind of surf rock vibe to them. Also this kind of gnarly punk rock vibe as well. You know, they have these very fast-paced songs, very Misfits-esque, but then they have these really kind of slowed down indie pop songs as well. They have a lot of really great range as artists, and this is a new EP they put out recently. The song Control in particular, I think, is like indie pop punk perfection kind of song. It's just so good, and I love this record. So Mannequin Pussy, highly recommend checking them out. Also picked up this album by Surfboard. They were formed in Brooklyn. They also have a big presence here in Austin, Texas, but picked this record up, and you know, Michael Pilmer, one of the VC's greatest, big Devo fan, has worked with Devo a lot, and he actually is familiar with these guys, and I was familiar with them before Michael pointed them out, but I think Michael's enthusiasm kind of made me want to check these guys out more, and so checked out this album and really enjoying it. You know, another fast-paced punk rock album with some kind of indie pop hooks at times. A really just a fun listen from start to finish. A great punk rock party album to put on and just get everybody moving. Really enjoying this one. So Surfboard, highly recommend checking them out. Surfboard are actually putting out a record for Record Store Day next month on April 23rd. They've got a record they're putting out that I think is just 1,000 copies. Very limited, but definitely want to try and pick that up come Record Store Day. But Surfboard, really cool band. I love that album artwork, and just a very fun band. Couple more things here. This is more of like experimental electronic music. Artist named Yuli, I've been really into lately. She's got a kind of like Grimes-esque sound, the artist Grimes, if you know her. Even it's reminiscent of like that more experimental kind of sound of Bjork. But I highly recommend checking out Yuli if you're into that electronic, experimental sound. Another album I picked up that I think is very reminiscent of that similar genre of electronic pop, of experimental music, is Yves Tumor. Definitely has more of a Prince vibe to it, a bit of that like funk pop that was coming out of the 80s, but also mixed in this very electronic, glitchy kind of sound. But really good stuff. Yves Tumor I'm pretty much a completist of. I have all of their records, and so had to pick up this new EP. But highly recommend Yves Tumor if you're into the electronic experimental genre. So there you go. We got some experimental electronic pop courtesy of Yuli and Yves Tumor. Some great punk rock from Surfboard and Mannequin Pussy, as well as a couple of just major grails for me. The great Wayne Shorter, Adam's Apple on Blue Notes, and the biggest grail, I think, of the week for me, Lee Morgan's The Sidewinder. What an amazing find, first stereo press. So that is it for this video, everybody. Hope you're having a great weekend. Hope you're spinning something really great, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much.